So, I mean, I'm trying to think if we've met. I mean, you and Simone did a shout out for us on the Kelly Clarkson show when you guys were doing your tour back in the day. So thank you for that. I get to personally thank you.
Of course,
And
anything.
so tell me, how's everything going? Let's start there. How are you feeling?
Everything is going really good. I'm really excited. We're about 5 months out from the Olympics. So just being able to take it day by day, step by step, and do everything that I can to make sure, I'm mentally, physically, emotionally okay with everything. And I'm really excited, and training's been going good.
That's so great. So tell me now, I thought about this because I don't know if you know, but my son is on a national team for tumbling. And so I was there at the gym a year ago in January because Jeffrey, is one of the top coaches, right? And so he was gonna go there, but he didn't. But I came down to the gym. It was really fun for me to see that. It was pretty funny. Everyone's like, "Who's this kid in here flipping? This 6 foot year old." That was my son. So I got a chance to see the gym, which I'm just in awe of. Oh my gosh. It's now for you, because you've been in a lot of gyms. How does it make a difference to you? Because I think it's beautiful.
I love WCC. I love being able to, have that environment, being around teammates. My old gym, I was the only elite athlete. So coming to WCC and being able to interact with other girls who are doing the exact same thing was really fun. But the very first time I ever just went into WCC, we had like a selection camp there. So I was really in awe. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful, gym. Like there's so many different apparatuses that you can get on. Like it's not just like one beam or one floor, like there's multiple of each. So I thought that was really cool, and I love it. I love the gym. I love walking into it every day and just being able to do everything in it and experience a lot as well. There's a lot of memories for sure.
Oh, that's so cool. But you've had quite the career, my dear girl, doing a lot of different things, college. And you know what else I thought about? I'm totally going off script because we'll go on it. How was it after you did the tour? Because I did a lot of tours. I was the rhythmic gymnast that was on like all the Olympic tours and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And so performing really taught me a lot. So did being on tour have you think a different way about doing your gymnastics?
I actually have been like a performer my whole entire life. It was just not seen at a young age because, I did go through a bunch of interesting coaching situations and finding myself and all that. So as I got older, I was able to perform well, but going on tour made me feel different because it's like it's a different type of performance. It's not gymnastics or, artistic. It's more of you being yourself and having a personality and trying to find, what it is that you can do within your dance or your technique or whatever it is. So tour made me realize a lot and being able to experience myself and kind of find a different type of identity as well.
So how does that work with your gymnastics? Because you're also known to have the most energy and the up and being yourself on the floor, which is not always a thing about being a gymnast. Yeah, you're definitely. So where does that come from, and how do you work with that?
So the energy and the hypeness that people always tell me I have definitely comes from just me being a little kid. I was always out there. I don't, want people to look at me differently in and out the gym. So I just kept being authentic to who I was, and I wanted the world to know that no matter where you are, no matter what you do, you can have your personality and let it shine because there's a bunch of stars in the sky, but be the brightest one out there. And my mom taught me to always be the best Jordan and be the best version of yourself because that is true. You can't be somebody else. You can try to be, but try to be it in a way that you are comfortable doing. And so that energy and everything that I've been people are just now seeing I've had within myself, but now that I'm older and I'm embracing it more, I think it's different, and hopefully people understand that it's me. Like I'm not changing the way I do things. I'm not changing any of that because at the end of the day, like I'm doing this for myself and I'm doing everything to, live the life that I want to live. It's my story, chapters.
Yes, and you're making more chapters. So tell me about going back into training for the Olympics. It's a, it's a thing. So how is it
Yes.
from your standpoint?
Well, so it took a while to get back into understand, okay, this is what I'm actually doing. My sophomore year of college, because I came back after my freshman year and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do worlds and try to go for the Olympics. And then my sophomore year, I was kind of like overthinking things. I was like, do I really want to do this? Like, I don't know. But towards the end of the my sophomore year, I was like, no, this is something that I want to do. This is something I want to push for because I know I have more to give and I know I'm capable of doing a lot more than what I did the previous Olympics. So right now I've just been focusing on, I've done the cycle before. I've been in this position before. So we're just going to take it step by step. And knowing that I'm trying for another Olympics, it's already crazy because I'm just like, whoa, two? Like that's something that, a little girl has always dreamed of just to even make one, but going for another one I think is a huge thing as well. And, at the end of the road, whatever happens, happens. And I just want to be proud and happy at the end of the day and just making sure that, I was able to give my all.
No, that's great. And it's so inspiring, I think, to people don't understand, like you said, going for one Olympics is like, woo! And then going for another, you're kind of setting a tone of like not having the possibilities or the whatever in your way, obstacles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Forging your own path. And where does that confidence come from?
My confidence, I think that I do have to say, like, my confidence comes from not just my coaches, but also like my support system. I've been in a position to where my circle has been really big, but then got condensed down to a very small circle because it's something that, I want people in my corner who's always going to be supporting me, cheering me on, doing everything that they can do to try to help me if I do need help. And that confidence came from just me having role models and idols and a mother figure that has accomplished so many things within her lifetime that I could look up to. So definitely being able just to go out there and kind of just leave everything behind me. I can say I finally found my confidence when I moved to WCC. My coach helped me a lot with that, being able to be like, if you're going to do it, do it. Don't try to hold back or do something that you're not comfortable doing. And so when I really finally got that realization, I was like, you know what? Like, you're right. Like, this is true. Like, I'm doing this for myself. Nobody's forcing me to do this. Like, I'm in here every day doing every repetition, every practice, and making sure I'm, doing it for myself. So that confidence kind of just was put out there. And again, at the end of the day, I just wanted to be happy and make sure I was living the life that I wanted to live and hopefully leave a legacy or, then inspiration to the younger generation as well.
Yeah, so talk about the legacy and the inspiration because you're in this generation, my foundation supports a lot of young girls of color and
Mhm.
and you guys are who they're looking up to, right?
Mhm.
It's really so what do you think about what you're leaving, like you said, your legacy, because it's very powerful. I'll just let you know on my side. Seriously. Y'all
Thank
y'all can get
you.
people in the gym and get them excited. Which we appreciate. Well, how is it from your standpoint?
Um, Look, at the end of the day, somebody can be as great as Michael Jordan, somebody can be as great as Serena Williams, somebody can be as great as Simone. Like it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's about, what you're doing within yourself to make sure you're putting your own legacy out there, your own idol, your own hero, your own inspiration. So for me, a lot of it is just I want the younger generation to understand that I've gone through it already. So you can be like, okay, this is how she was able to maneuver herself in a situation if they've gone through it, or this is how they're able to, help with somebody else maybe, depending on what the circumstances. Maybe it's like helping with a skill, or maybe it's helping with something in academics, or even becoming a nurse, or there's just like a lot of things that go through my brain to make sure that that younger generation doesn't have to struggle, because I struggled in with the diversity part of it. I struggle with the criticism part of it. I struggle with not using my voice. And so being able to do those things now and actually embrace and express and use my voice in a lot of different ways, I'm hoping that that younger generation can be like, okay, if she can do it, I can do it. You know that saying, everybody says it. She can do it, I can do it. She can do it, I can do it. So I just want that generation to be like, okay, I can wake up in the morning, look at myself in the mirror, maybe give myself an affirmation and go on without my day with go on within my day and be okay with it. So that's what I think. From the outside looking in, like when I'm just in the gym every day or, I'm walking into a store, whatever it is, it's just I want them to understand that this is what I do and this is how I want them to live their life. Because you only have one life. I always say this, people laugh every time. You don't have 9 lives like cats, you only have one. And live that one life to the fullest because you don't want to regret or do anything different within that and feel like you didn't accomplish something that you wanted to accomplish.
No, that's true. That's a good point. So you talked a little bit about it before. What about being a Black gymnast in gymnastics? Because, everyone looks at it a little bit differently now, but it's not really. So tell us about your experience.
My experience as being a Black gymnast was definitely a crazy ride. I've gotten, a lot of things happened to me to where the worst thing that I can remember is, my coach cutting my braids out, or saying that my mom wasn't my mom because she's Latin. So there's been a lot of things that within my time period as being an African American gymnast that was crucial. But as I've gotten older, I've understood that my skin is my skin. You can't take it off. You can't replace it. You can't do anything with it because it's attached to me. It's my beauty. It's literally my role model within myself is my skin. It's the same when people say, oh, your hair is like a crown. Yes, my hair is my crown. Yes, my hair is something that I do embrace and I experience. So now that I've gotten to this point where I can express that and be the person I am and kind of, speak on it, definitely makes me feel more confident within myself. The beauty part of it, me being able to wake up and walk down the street and being like, if this is the day, this is the day. If it's not, then I thank God every day because, that's just how it is. I walk into a room, no matter what, I'm still Black. I walk into a grocery store, no matter what, I'm still Black. So I've gotten to this point now where at the end of the day, I'm who I am and no one can take that away from me. I was put on this earth for a reason.
That's true. And we are also that you're living your life out there and letting us all see it. It's true. But you know what you're saying, which is so critical, is so hard for so many young people.
Mm-hmm.
And especially, I have to say, COVID didn't help,
Yeah.
So what would you say to them about finding your voice? You're so great within it. It's so positive. How can someone who's been on the struggle bus, do you have any advice for them?
So with, finding your voice, finding, whatever it is, whether again it's your voice, your sport, your beauty, your intelligence, your determination, your confidence, whatever it is, just think about all the things that you've went through in the past and let it go. Think about what's the future. What are your goals? What are something that you're looking forward to and be the person that you want to be. At the end of the day, again, no one can take anything away from you. Don't let the negative comments come in your way. Stay positive. For me, a lot of the things that I do are affirmations. I got to wake up sometimes and I look at myself in the mirror if it's a really tough day and just be like, you know what? You're strong, you're confident, you're beautiful. Like, let's get this day on the road and see how it turns out. So I'm gonna leave it with this. My own quote is always believe in the power of your dreams. Your dreams are very powerful. There are millions of things out there for people to do, and fulfill everything to the fullest because you don't want to take anything for granted.
Yeah, that's great. And that's really great. I know we had all these other questions about gymnastics and stuff. A lot of stuff we can find out, but I've enjoyed talking to you about this because this is really what people are hungry for. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's seeing you out there. It's made such an impact. But okay, I'll do a couple of gymnastics. So what are you feeling about where your gymnastics is now, or do you have goals as we go throughout? You said 5 months out. How are you feeling about your gymnastics journey right now?
My gymnastics journey, I mean, obviously, I've been doing this since I was 6.5 years old. So knowing that I'll be 23 in a month is crazy to even say that I've been in this sport for that long. But I would have to say, it definitely changes. It's you don't I'm in the second phase of having like a woman body basically. You go through your menstrual cycle, you're going through a lot within your lifetime. So I can say my little body is no longer little, like it's no longer little anymore. I have times where I am, tired or my body aches and stuff, but I do always remember that I'm in this position for a reason and I just keep pushing forward. So gymnastics has definitely been something that I'm very grateful for, and I want to change the world for it because it was a God-given gift. I mean, a lot of people try doing this sport, and it's a very hard sport, and they may succeed or may not succeed. So I definitely don't take my sport for granted, and I kind of always thank God for everything that I'm doing for sure.
No, that's really amazing. Yeah, gymnastics is not the easy one, but a long shot. And so you talked about something that's very interesting, your woman's body, because people,
Mhm.
today we're like 23, we'd be like, oh, time to go, right? So how is it? Because you're not alone, but it is different. And people always want to ask because they have still these other expectations. But doing gymnastics as a woman, talk about that.
Doing gymnastics as a woman now, I think it gives a different perspective, for sure, because yes, we are 23 in the gymnastics world, but it makes it seem like we're old, right? We're like, oh my gosh, 23 and you're still in this sport. It's the hardest sport and da da da, all this stuff. But it's like I'm 23 in the real world and I'm young. Like my mindset and everything is young. I still go hang out with friends. I do all these things. So the difference in the perspectives of what 23 or 24 or 25 or however old you are is definitely different. But I can say, like, I can still feel, those aches. I can still feel me being tired. I always got to make sure, okay, your body is a little older, but you got to make sure you take care of it. And so that's something that I've really focused on these past 2, 3 years of knowing that, okay, I'm going through a cycle of life that is changing within myself, and I am doing a really hard, difficult sport. So I have to really take that into consideration.
So do you know your body more? Because I guess, especially for gymnastics and artistic gymnastics, is the amount of like pounding. Like you have to be careful of how much in a way you do. Are you conscious about that?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm definitely conscious about everything that I do because I'm like at any point in time, what could happen? Um, it definitely is. It's harder on the body for sure when you get older. When you're younger, you could do all these crazy things, and now it's like, okay, I got to be very cautious. I got to make sure, my joints and my pains are okay. So I definitely take that into consideration of how much, pounding and all that, because I don't want to be 50 years old. Like that's still young. 50 years old is still young, and I'm waking up feeling like I'm 102. Like I already feel like I'm waking up and I'm 40. Like I don't want to feel like that. So I definitely always put that in perspective for sure.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's so smart. It's been really lovely talking with you. We get all the gymnastic stuff. Are there any other things or things that you have on your mind that you have goals outside of gymnastics of people that you want to reach or organizations or anything like that? What do you think about when
Um,
you're not thinking about gymnastics?
When I'm not thinking about gymnastics, obviously my mind goes straight to communities. I'm a type of person of giving back. I'm gonna give back as much as I can to make sure every single body has something that they can do within their life, whether it's real estate, whether it's, them not knowing that they're an artist, or them not knowing that they can paint, or them not knowing that, they can, or they're a doctor, a nurse, whatever it is, and they just didn't have the ability to actually succeed and fulfill those. So I'm always thinking about the communities. I'm always thinking about others. I'm always thinking about myself and family as well, and making sure that everybody's okay. So outside of gymnastics, my mind's very creative. Like I've gone beyond to where it's, I've sat down and started, writing scripts for movies for no reason. Like I've sat down, just like that's how creative my mind goes when I'm not thinking about my sport. So just really being the person I am and figuring out the different talents that I have within myself besides my sport for sure.
Wow, that's great. Well, Jordan, it's just been a delight. You're a really marvelous young woman and such an inspiration to those. And I so appreciate you taking the time because I know
Yes.
your time is valuable, but it's been a joy. And thank you for supporting what I do with the kids. It really makes a big.
No. No, 100%. No, thank you for so much for doing this with me. I really give, you guys the full attention. You've done so much. You've done amazing things and giving the younger girls or, just anybody in general the opportunity to do things that maybe they couldn't do. And, I really bow down to that. You definitely are doing great work for sure.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much, Jordan. It's been a treat, and I'm wishing you all the best luck in everything.
Thank you so much.